Barking. That's the behavior we're going to talk about. And of course, what's natural for a dog to do? Bark. How do they bark? When they want to let you know they want something, someone's at the door, they are bored. There's all kinds of reasons a dog will bark. The first thing you have to do, again, is stage and set it up. And second is make sure that exercise is a part of every dog's program. If they're not being exercised enough, boredom sets in and barking takes over. The other part is if they're living outside, first of all, there's really no dog that can just live outside, the outdoor dog. They are a pack animal. They belong with a pack. So if they spend most of the time alone and outside, it can be very, very stressful, and they will bark at everything. And on top of that, being alone and being put outside means you've been kicked out of your pack. So many behaviors can result from being put away and somewhere else. So that would go into any behavior that you're looking at. Now, barking tools, we need to have either a squirt gun. Again, I've got my big Rambo size, but you can actually go to the small size. An interruption tool, a throw can, a throw chain, or even the clap of your hands. All of that's going to depend on what your dog's personality is like. Now, when it comes time for the barking, you have to first address, why is my dog barking? Are they barking to get my attention? Are they looking right at me, barking for a treat, and I walk over and give them a treat? Now, would that be considered that I rewarded the barking? Am I being trained by my dog to go get the treat? So you have to first determine, why does my dog bark? Second, we're going to work on the inside of the house. Then we'll go to what you do for the outside of the house. The inside of the house, you have to take a look around the home. If they can go to every single window and track what's going on outside, that looks like their territory, they're going to bark. So that's a different kind of barking than if they're barking because somebody's at the door. Those are two different types of training. The training at every window, again, the dog should have a toy box, exercise, and you should be teaching some basic behaviors along with the barking, such as attention exercises, where they learn to pay attention to what you've asked. Then you can actually begin to make sure that when you set this stage up, you'll put the dog on a leash, on a collar. You'll have your treats ready. I usually recommend treats. It just is a quick and easy way to get a dog to respond. If they begin to track the windows and the property of the house, then that's where you're going to plan on your stage setting. Have somebody walk outside so your timing is perfect. Remember, I talk about timing all the time. The fact is, it's just like taking a picture with a camera. If my timing is off, I'll get a different picture. If my timing is on, I'll get the right picture. That's how dogs learn, in the moment and for exactly what you're wanting to train. And of course, if you're rewarding the behavior you like, you'll get that behavior to increase. So, barking at different things outside, you have low distraction, medium distraction, high distraction. Low distraction is just somebody making noise. You're ready with your interrupters. You would immediately make that interruption sound paired to the word you want. So it could be quiet or stop. And you only want to say it once, not stop, 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 because that teaches them to listen to 4,000 or 5,000 words. And I call it the Charlie Brown teacher syndrome. Wah, wah, wah. That's all they hear. You have to say a word paired with an interruption. And then when you get the quiet, quickly reward that. You're not waiting for a really long quiet. That's an advanced dog in training. So that would be for the windows. Now let's go to the door. We first do this where somebody could just knock at the door. Of course, today he's not going to bark, but he's been barking through all the training. Say search barking. That would be low distraction. It'd be a drop of a throw can. It'd be a clap of the hands. And then immediately upon quiet, good, quiet. You want to reward the good, quiet. The more you reward with good in the command, the more they're going to begin to understand that that's the behavior you want. So that would be low distraction, somebody just knocking at the door. Now that may take 4 or 5 days. It could take 2 weeks before the dog learns that when you say quiet, they need to be quiet. Again, the leash helps because if they're running all over the place, you won't be able to get this accomplished. And the other thing that you have to make sure is you have a stage set up. So the person could just knock and walk away. They don't have to come into the door because then that would be jumping. You want to make sure that we're just focusing on barking. Now, the next part to this is once a dog starts learning behavioral commands such as let's go and sit, then when they're paying attention to what's outside, you can say, quiet, good, quiet. Although we weren't getting any barking there, but we definitely got a nice turnaround, quiet behavior. And let's go, in case they really start barking to the point where you can't get them to be quiet. Then you replace that behavior, barking, with a movement behavior, or you replace barking with quiet behavior. Remember, you're replacing one behavior for another. So it's an A and a B. They always learn, don't do this behavior, but do this. You're pairing the word to it, which is really important.